You might be like me and sometimes say, why do you have this property and why you work all the time on it? Well, here's your answer right here. Hey there, lovely people. Welcome back to the lovely place. This is Sean, and today we're back down. It's been a few days. I've got a couple projects that I'm going to knock out today, and you might remember if you watched one of the most recent videos, we took the whole ridge cap off of the pole barn all the way across. It's about 30 feet or 26 feet of it, and inside that area we put down this vent, this filter, this ridge cap vent to keep the bugs out. We're going to be insulating on the inside, and we've put vents on the soffits across through there so that we could intake air and the vent up there to take it out, and so that it can circulate. So today we're going to be putting additional foam inserts inside the soffits where bugs can get in between the ridges of the metal. And so hopefully that will prevent flies and wasps from getting in there. And every time we come down here to the barn and open the door, we got a bunch of dead little critters on the floor or swarms of wasps up near the ceiling. So we're gonna get that taken care of. But what I'm gonna actually have fun doing is getting all of our equipment started, really for the first time this spring. Most of it has not been started. And we're not doing all of it, but we're doing what we need to do in order to get the Swisher Country Cut mower out, the brush cutter. We're going to drag it behind Blue. That's our Polaris four-wheeler, and we're going to go and we're going to take that Swisher and we're going to cut down outside the driveway all the way through the woods, and most importantly the hillside. It's a little steep for me to want to take my tractor on. That tractor, you know, why risk it when you got something like this that you can just drag behind you on the four-wheeler? It'll about wear you out, but it gets the job done. So come along with me. We're going to knock that out first. Let's start some of this equipment and see if it starts up after being, you know, setting all winter long. Hopefully it will. Okay, now before we start all the equipment up, we're going to come back to the Case i875C. We think this thing is fully working, fully fixed, and there's like 3 or 4 videos. There's a playlist about the electrical issues or issue. Still don't know exactly if we had more than one issue, but it's fixed. After that last video, I was, as you probably noticed, very thankful that we got this thing fixed. So cross your fingers, say a prayer. I've not been down here to start it since we confirmed that it was fixed the last time. So we're going to check it out. Let's get the key in here, make sure she starts up. All right, we have lights. Yeah, Lord. Yeah, we got it. Thank you, Lord. All right, this one's good. We're gonna let her run a minute, let it warm up, just make it feel good. And after Big Red warms up a little bit, we're gonna start Little Red and pull her out so that we can get to our DR, get him out, and that's Dread, by the way. And then we're gonna get that Country Cut Swisher out so that we can pull it around with that four-wheeler. Now this Polaris, this Ranger, we use it every time we're down here. So this one has been started up, so we shouldn't have any issue here. All right, let's get it out. This is Mrs. Lovely's go-to vehicle. She's always running around filling it full of rocks and sticks. We'll let her warm up for a little bit. That's Little Red. Now, we're gonna pull Blue out and see if he'll start up. Here we are at Blue, the 570 Sportsman. Now, he's not been started all winter long, I don't suppose. Maybe once. I don't recall exactly, but let's see what we got. Gotta hold the brake in. I'm gonna have to set you down. Nice. Not bad for sitting all winter. So we'll get this one pulled out, let it run for a while. I'm gonna let it sit here and warm up before I I even put it in reverse. All right, this is the big bad dread. That's the DR 34-inch Pro Max. This thing will cut some brush, cut some trails. But today, we're gonna be using the Country Cut 44-inch Swisher. This got 11.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton, while this one has a 22 horsepower Briggs. But this thing's, neither one of these have been started all winter, so let's get this DR going. That's pretty awesome for setting this long. Check the oil in all these machines prior to doing this startup. That's something important to do, of course. Okay, I think Big Red's warmed up enough. Let's shut him down. I like to see that 14.1 volts there. That means that alternator's doing its job. And if you wonder why that concerns me, yeah, go back a couple videos. We're good now. We are good. Hey, for all of y'all who are wondering, we went and bought us a brand new box of this rodent repellent, and we stick it in this thing. Every time that we set it in here and leave it, I've just been propping it right in there. I'll show you where I put it. All right, so I just take this top, fold those over, stick it right in there and let it hang, because right inside there is where the mice like to go and make their nest. So hopefully that'll keep them away. I've not seen any signs of mice for a while now. All right, we'll shut that down. We'll shut that down. And let's shut this one down. Might as well save that gas. It ain't cheap these days, we all know that.
Like gas ain't free.
All right, let's get this Swisher out of the garage here. Everything fits in here like a puzzle. We don't have a whole bunch of room. And this one's the biggest challenge to deal with. Oh, there with my mouse trap. I popped my mouse trap, y'all. Let's see if we can attach this to blue. Drag on the bottom. There we go. All right. Now we haven't checked the oil on this one yet, so let's give it a quick look before we start it up. So sitting cold all this time, it's in a good spot. It's right in the middle between the two dots, but we'll look at it again. That's not going to change from here. Yep, all set. And all these had a fresh oil change at the beginning of last spring. There's a video on that where I did all the oil and filters on just about everything we got here, I think. And bottom line is we just didn't use it that much to warrant another oil change, in my opinion. But some people do it every year, whether it needs it or not. Not a bad idea. Now, if you'll notice, we're dragging the ground back here, and we're pretty high up here. We are on a little bit of an incline, not much, but what we're going to do, we're going to make an adjustment, and which way this goes to change that, we'll see. Yeah, that's coming up a little bit. Let's go a little more. I think that ought to do it. We'll get it on some flat ground, see if that looks good. Well, I just noticed we need to pump a little air in this tire because it's getting low. Same thing on the other side. I don't know how much pressure this takes, but we'll do the little squish test. You ever done the squish test before? Comment right now if you know what that is. All right, let's turn this thing up. We got it set on, let's go to 14 pounds. Well, there's 14 pounds. Let's go a little higher. Let's go to 17. Squish test. I like more than 17. What do you say, 20? That's a false 20 because I was stepping on it. I think 22 and we're good. All right, it popped back down to 21. That's gonna do it. Let's go to the other side and do the same thing. Good to go. We might as well check Blue out, make sure he's looking good too. All good. Speaking of gas, better top this thing off before I get way down yonder. And unfortunately, I'm pretty low. And I'm sure you guys do this too, but I always run no ethanol gasoline in all this equipment, because last thing you want to do is gunk up a carburetor. I filled it up, but now I'm just about empty in this jug here. I think Blue's pretty full. Goodness gracious, who screwed that on? I must have been the Hulk that day. I was younger then. All right, let's just get rid of the rest of this gas. And it's gone. Mrs. Lovely's in Little Red. Where are you going?
I'm going to pick up rocks.
You're gonna pick up rocks so I can cut. You're awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know what? Just thought, let's just check this air filter. This thing gets a lot. Gets a whole bunch of dust going in there. We'll just bang it out a little bit. It'll breathe. All right, well, it's time to see if she'll start. So the key for these things, go way up here. And you just turn it on. It doesn't crank it, but you got to turn the switch on. And over here you have a choke. You just pull that out, and then you get to cranking. Warm up for a minute here. Okay, we got you mounted on the back of Blue. Let's get the cut. All right, well, I'm gonna do a little bit more, but I'm not gonna put you through that. But in just a second, we're gonna come back up here to the barn. We're gonna start stuffing that foam stuff I was telling you about. I'll let you see it and everything, and we're gonna keep those insects out of the barn so we can finish it all up, get some insulation in there hopefully soon, because it's getting warm already. All right, I just got through doing a little bit more mowing. Check out what Mrs. Lovely found when she was picking up sticks and rocks. We have had some big, huge turkey up here roaming around, and here's your turkey feather right here. Isn't that pretty? That is something else. I think I'm gonna write in my journal. Where's the ink? You might be like me and sometimes say, why do you have this property and why you work all the time on it? Well, here's your answer right here. Look down here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a swing down there, and Mrs. Lovely's just sitting there looking out in the field across to the hills, enjoying that view and enjoying the peace and the tranquility that comes with this lovely place. And that right there makes it all worthwhile. There's a lot of work to be done. We're trying to make this a homestead. We got a lot more to do, but there you go. That speaks volumes. All right, so I pulled the product out that we're about to put up inside the soffit area there. We're gonna stuff it in there, and on the outside, let me show it to you real quick here. I showed it to you in a previous video, but we didn't get to it. What we did work on was this. This was the material that we put on each side of the ridge vent. It came in a long roll, and it had these two pieces in there. And you open the roll and these come apart, and it's got a sticky film on the back of it, and you stick it on your metal roof, and then you put that ridge cap back on top of it, and it keeps critters from going inside by the ridge cap. So check out that video if you're interested or need to do that. This here is a different product. We'll figure that one out later, see if we need it, but this is the tough rib outside closure. Here's what it looks like, and it also has an adhesive. You peel that off. That actually might get in our way a little bit because of where we got to put it. But let me just show you real quick how it works and where it goes on this metal without peeling off the adhesive. I don't want it to stick here. I just want to show you. You can see those ribs there. And then of course down here it will fit all the way down, and it'll fit in there too. So it's going to go up there, and it's going to tightly fill in that crack on both sides. And I may need to do something up inside right up there where it touches as well. This may be overkill, but we definitely want to keep everything out of the attic, because we intend to finish that attic up and make sure that hopefully nothing will get up in there. So we may do some spray foam in those cracks and crevices as well, but we're gonna see how far we can get with this stuff. Let's grab this box. We don't need that invoice. Let's take this over there and climb up on the scaffolding and see if we can pop some up there. This scaffolding here, it's called Metal Tech. It has come in handy for me. I have used it so much, and I've got a lot more use coming for it. I got an entire video of the whole assembly of this thing and when I first picked it up. So if you're interested in one of these for yourself, definitely check that video out. Okay, this ain't the best way to climb up here. Normally I'll put a ladder up there, but all right. So you see right here what I'm talking about. Here is an example of a wasp going in exactly and coming out right where we are feeling. So there you go. This needs to be fixed. All right, I'm gonna grab one of these, and I know it'd be smart to start on the end, but I'm right here, so I'll just cut it. I'm gonna peel one of these off here. Now let's just look up under here, see if you can see okay. All right. So the best way to do this is shove it in like that right there. Now it's got the adhesive on it, so it makes it a little bit difficult. I like this though. That looks like that's gonna seal it real good. It's a little bit tight at times. Not sure why, but again, this adhesive's wanting to stick to it as I'm trying to slide it in. So you just got to force it in there. I need some kind of like plastic, something I can push it in. I mean, I can use my fingers, but yeah, that's pretty good. Not bad at all. And I could come in here with some caulking or some kind of sealant and just get that even tighter. But yeah, you see what I'm talking about? So we'll do that there. We'll do it up underneath because that's the same design. And it looks like it would work right here too. Let's just try one. So it should be the same situation. Now, let's see. It would be, but how in the world do I get it to? I guess I'd do it like that right there. Is it really necessary? That's a J channel right there. So it'd be a lot less expensive probably just to put something, some silicone or something up there. I don't know if you can see. Let me get up there a little closer for you. Right in here, right there, the metal stops, and then the J channel is behind it. It really don't poke out much. I don't know that anything's going to get up in there, but you could put this up there as well. I don't want to waste it there yet. I'm going to put it back here first. We'll get it up in there, and I'll do this side and this side until I run out, and then I'll get more, and if I choose to, I'll get enough to do this. What's your thoughts? All right, well, let's go on the inside here like we were talking about. And we're gonna start in the same place we started on that other one. I'm telling you, it's the adhesive that's an issue. Can't see what I'm doing as good this way, but I can feel it feels good. It's doing the trick. Maybe I can do something to make that adhesive not stick. Now when I got a situation like this with a bolt running through or a screw running through there, that's a little issue. I'll just have to tear that off right here. Just cut that one. You see how this is pushing this down a little bit? I'm not crazy about that. But it is sealing it. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna show it to you from this angle. There it is, stuffed up in there. A little gap here and there. But yeah, you can see that little spot there. I can feel it in. It doesn't look so bad. Problem is, it's kind of pushing this down compared to over here where I don't have it. Of course, it'll do that everywhere except where I have these bolts and it'll kind of be wavy. So I need to figure out if this is the best option or not. We shall see. Well, this is gonna take a minute, so I'm not gonna hold you up and keep you here watching all this, but we're gonna get it done. I do want to show you something about this. Notice how it's got the little puzzle piece part down here on one end, and on the other end it has, you know, the opposite, the male, the female. So I can slide that onto that. What I noticed when I turned this over though is that this is smooth compared to this. The other side kind of has those dots, which is sort of ugly on a barn like this when you're trying to make it look nice. So I'm gonna start from this point forward using this this side here, I believe. But the thing about this side, just stick it there a second, it doesn't, this side almost feels like it's sealed, like it has a plastic coating, and it's not going to let water penetrate it, where this side feels completely open foam. So, on second thought, I'm not gonna flip it over. I like this for the exterior. So we're gonna keep going that way. So Mrs. Lovely had a brilliant idea. Actually, it was lovely. It was a lovely idea. By the way, there are 7 reasons we call her Mrs. Lovely, and one of them is because of her lovely ideas. And so her lovely idea here is, since this already has paper on it, oh man, that's all over it, where the adhesive is, maybe take a razor blade and possibly, you know, cut on each side of it. Now we could just cut it right down the middle, but if we do that and we happen to leave any of this white, you know, visible, it'll show up there. And so what I'm trying to do is maybe stay on the inside of the foam, but on the outside of the adhesive. This way it won't stick as I'm putting it up, and it will I'm just thinking, I was about to peel it and I was going to peel the wrong part. I was going to peel the part that has the adhesive. So I want to cut on both sides of this adhesive, right? And I want to leave the piece that's connected to the adhesive, and I want to get rid of the ones on each side. Does that make sense? Was that your idea, Mrs. Lovely?
That was it.
Let's see if this
See
works.
how much you like that idea after you do all the work.
Right. Okay, so let's pull this off. So I'm already not I mean, it's a good idea, but I'm not liking the work part. So check it out. All right. So what that did mainly, still some adhesive visible because, you know, I can't cut perfect here, but it kind of did what she was talking about. This would allow me to slide it up in there without it getting stuck, because it is definitely getting stuck. Now, one of the issues is right here where this rib goes in. I guess, look at this. What we'll do here is cut that, fold it down on it. Man, this really takes the job to the next level as far as time consumption, doesn't it?
Yes.
So,
but if you have to pressure wash all those spots that you left that glue on.
yeah, pressure wash ain't gonna get that off. I'd have to use some kind of like goof off or some kind of product that removes adhesive. So, you know, who knows? We may do this, we may not, but we're gonna get this up one way or the other.
2 hours later.
Well, we are on our 5th one. This takes a little time. Is it worth it? Well, we will see when we get up there. There's 5. 250 more to go.
1 eternity later.
Okay, we are about to test the first strip that still has the paper covering the adhesive. Let's see how much easier this might be. Oh yeah, it's worth it, y'all. It's worth it if you can keep that paper on there. Sometimes it wants to slip off, I just noticed, but yeah, it just goes in so much better. Problem is, you can see a little white paper right here. We'll deal with that with the razor blade at the right time. But it definitely slides in better. I'll have to cut that off, no biggie. In either case, there's some extra work. Here's the good Harbor Freight Icon knife. Sharp as a razor blade, that's for sure. And a whole lot more durable. D2 steel, carbon fiber handle, ceramic bearings. Nice knife. Especially for about 40 bucks. Here's an example where the male fitting is perfectly aligned with the female here. Well, not actually perfectly. I'm gonna need to cut a little bit of that off. Sometimes we just don't mesh. So much easier without that adhesive. Thank you, Mrs. Lovely. Always here to help. You save us all a lot of time and heartache. Looking good. All right, we'll flip it back here. We'll do the inside. This is where I stopped with it, so let's put the bottom in. Just push it on back up in there. I'll have to cut this one a little bit probably because there's a screw right here. Okay, just a quick look. It's dirty up here, but you get the gist of it. It's coming together and looking good. Yeah, all the way down through there. It's sealed. So, I'll get the rest of this done. Whether that will be today or not, I don't know. It's kind of getting monotonous. We may have to come back to this. Mrs. Lovely's down there. She's been cutting all these for me and continuing to pile them up for me. So as long as she's doing that, I got to keep working. If you like the video, if you like what we do up here to create a homestead and try to tighten this stuff up and continue to work toward our dream of being self-sufficient and having a place that we can raise livestock, have gardens, have a tiny house in this little pole barn, and one day build a house over there. We'd love for you to join us. Please subscribe to the channel and come back and see us next time. God bless you. Talk to you soon.